Now, formulas are very similar to cost of debt. The only difference, in debt capital we pay interest, whereas on preference shares we pay dividend. On debt capital you have to pay interest, whereas in preference shares we have to pay dividend. Okay. Further, interest was a tax deductible expense. In the P&L statement, where does interest come? Does it come before profit before tax or after profit after tax? Interest element comes before tax or after tax? Before tax. But where does the preference dividend element comes? After tax. Preference dividend element always comes after tax. So preference dividend is not a tax deductible expense. 1 minus T will not be done. In KD what we used to do, 1 minus T, that will not be done because it is not a tax deductible expense. So if the preference shares are irredeemable, okay, if the preference shares are irredeemable, what was the formula of KD? I. Instead of that we will have PD, preference dividend. Instead of interest we will have PD, that is preference dividend. And in bracket what we used to have? That we will not have because it is not a tax deductible expense. Directly upon NP into 100. Very simple formula. Preference dividend divided by net proceeds into 100. And if the preference shares are redeemable, then instead of I1 minus T we will have PD. The rest formula will remain exactly same. What was the second part? RV minus NP upon N. Okay. Divided by RV plus NP divided by 2 into 100. So this will remain exactly same. Any confusions in this? Let it out. So only point you to remember is, instead of interest, what is the cost involved here? Preference dividend. Instead of interest, the cost involved is preference dividend. Secondly, preference dividend is not a tax deductible expense. So 1 minus T will not be done. Any confusions in this? Yesterday we did not mention the details, what is I, what is T, what is NP, etc. So below that write down as note all of them. I stands for interest. I dash interest. 10,000, 10% preference shares of rupees 100 each. Now a company issued 10,000, 10% preference shares of rupees 100 each. So very first of all, what will be the preference dividend here? I told you yesterday, interests and dividends will always count on face value. So 10,000 preference shares of 100 each means 10 lakhs. 10,000 preference shares of 100 each means the value, face value of preference shares will be 10 lakhs. And 10 lakhs, 10% dividend will be 1 lakh. Now cost of issue is rupees 2 per share. What is this? Flotation cost. What shall we do with flotation cost? Minus to get net proceeds. Okay. Calculate the cost of preference shares if they are issued at par or 10% premium and at 5% discount. A rough working is shown to you, which we will have to again do it here in the notebook. Like if they are issued at par, then net proceeds will be 10 lakhs minus flotation cost. Can you see 2 per share? So on 10,000 shares it will be 10,000 into 2, 20,000. So if they are issued at par, then 10 lakhs minus 20,000, the net proceeds are 9,80,000. If they are issued at premium, then 10 lakhs minus 20,000 as it is. Plus what is the premium? 10 lakhs, 10%? 1 lakh. So 10,80,000 will be the net proceeds. And if they are issued at discount, then 10 lakhs minus 20,000 as it is. Further 10 lakhs, 5% discount will be 50,000. So the net proceeds will be 9,30,000. Understood that? Anyone having any doubt in this? So let us solve it. Very first of all, the common things we will write. Common things are preference dividend equals to 10 lakhs. 10,000 shares of 100 each, 10 lakhs into 10%. So preference dividend is 1 lakh. Understood that, everyone? Okay, this is common everywhere. Now, first, if they are issued at par, then net proceeds will be equal to 10 lakhs minus 20,000 of flotation cost. How did we get 20,000 flotation cost? How did we get 20,000 of flotation cost? 10,000 shares into 2 rupees. So 9,80,000 will be the net proceeds. Understood that, everyone? Now what formula we will apply is KP is equal to PD upon NP into 100. Okay, are the preference shares redeemable or irredeemable? In this question, are the preference shares redeemable or irredeemable? Irredeemable, because number of years of maturity is not given. So you will apply the first formula. Okay. Now, what is preference dividend we calculated? 1 lakh. Upon what are the net proceeds we obtained in this situation? 9,80,000 into 100. So what does that come to? 10.20%. Any confusions in this? Now option B, it is issued at 10% premium. Now if it is issued at 10% premium, then Pari, how will we find the net proceeds? 10 lakhs plus 10% premium and minus flotation cost. So 10 lakhs plus, yes, 3. 10 lakhs, 10% will be 1 lakh, and flotation cost is going to remain 20,000 itself. So 10,80,000. Are you all clear with this? Any confusions? Now formula we will apply. So Mansi, Akshay, yes, Nancy. PD plus is it irredeemable or redeemable? Are the number of years given in the question? It is irredeemable. We have to apply this formula only everywhere. What is the formula? PD upon NP into 100. Further, PD is going to remain 1 lakh only in all the 3 situations. So 1 lakh divided by 10,80,000 into 100. Net proceeds are 10,80,000. What does that come to? 9.26%. Did all of you understand this? And at 5% discount, now at 5% discount, shall we only find the net proceeds?
10 lakh minus 5% discount minus 20,000 floating charge.
is 10 lakhs minus 5% discount minus flotation cost. Further,
10 lakh minus 50,000
10 lakhs 5% discount will be 50,000
minus 20,000.
minus probation cost 20,000, so 9 lakh 30,000. Did all of you understand this? Now we'll apply the formula Kp equals to PD upon NP into 100. Dinesh? PD is going to remain same 1 lakh we have done in the beginning. Yes, now the net proceeds will become 9 lakh 30,000 into 100. 10.75%. So everyone is still with this? Anyone having any confusions? A company issued 10,000 10% preference shares of rupees 100 each. The cost of issue is rupees 2 per share. Everything is same up there. 10,000 10% preference shares of 100 each. So what will be the amount of preference dividend? 10,000 into 100, 10 lakhs into 10%, that is 1 lakh. Okay. And again the flotation cost is rupees 2 per share. So 10,000 into 2, what will be the flotation cost? 20,000. Calculate the cost of preference shares. Option A, if they are issued at par. Issued at par, align that and above that write NP. From that we will get net proceeds. Whose mobile is this? Yesterday also it was yours only, na? It was the same ringtone. Give it here. Yes, dear lender. Issued at par, so net proceeds will be 10 lakhs minus 2 rupees. Flotation cost means 10,000 into 2, 20,000. So 9 lakh 80,000. Okay. And redeemable after 10 years. So unlike 10 years market as N. Now which formula will apply? First one or second one? Second. Now they are redeemable, so we'll apply the second formula where N they will take as 10 years. Okay. Again underline at par and market as RV. Issued at par will get us net proceeds. Redeemable at par will get us redemption value. Redeemable at par, so what will be the redemption value? 10 lakhs. Redeemable at par, so what will be the redemption value? 10 lakhs. Any confusions? All of you are clear with this? Shalini? Not clear. Issued at par, that will give you net proceeds. Redeemable at par, that will give you redemption value. At the time of issue, we have flotation cost also. So net proceeds are 10 lakh minus 20,000, 9 lakh 80,000. But redemption is to be done at par means we have to repay 10 lakh rupees. So redemption value is 10 lakhs. Did all of you understand this? Flotation cost will be subtracted only in net proceeds. Redemption value, flotation cost will have no relevance. Did everyone of you understand this? Anyone having any confusion on this? Shalini? Not clear. What is the confusion? Yes, what is the confusion? Ask me what is the confusion? No confusion, but still you are not clear. See, issued at par and redeemable after 10 years at par. You understand redeemable? Redeemable means what? Repayable. So after 10 years repayable at par means you have to repay them 10 lakhs itself. So redemption value is 10 lakhs. But at the time of issue, you are incurring the cost of rupees 2 also. So the money which you will be getting is not 10 lakhs. You will be getting 9 lakh 80,000. Okay. Next one. If they are issued at par, and then issued at par market as NP, so that will again give you the net proceeds. What will be the net proceeds? 9 lakh 80,000. 10 lakhs minus 20,000. Okay. And redeemable after 10 years, and then redeemable at 10% premium market as RV. So Shalini, what will be the redemption value? Yes, 10 lakhs plus 10% premium 1 lakh. So what will be the redemption value? 11 lakhs. Is everyone clear with this? Third option. And then issued at 10% premium market as net proceeds. My dear, what will be the net proceeds? 10 lakh 80,000. Flotation cost 20,000, you minus everywhere. Just now what did we do?
What's allowed?
Please silence now. I discussed where flotation cost will not be considered. Redemption value. In redemption value, flotation cost will not be considered, but in net proceeds it will be considered. So net proceeds will be 10 lakhs plus premium 1 lakh minus flotation cost, that is 10 lakh 80,000. Are you okay with this portion, everyone? Then, and then redeemable at 15% premium. Now redeemable at 15% premium, so Anju, what will be the redemption value? Yes, 10 lakhs plus 15% premium 1 lakh 50,000 means what will be the redemption value? 11 lakh 50,000. Did everyone of you understand this? Anyone having any doubts? So this we have to solve with the formula of redeemable preference shares, means PD plus RV minus NP upon N upon RV plus NP upon 2 into 100. So let us solve it. Only one thing is going to remain common in all situations, which is preference dividend. Net proceeds and redemption value both are changing in each of the three situations. Okay? So write down PD equals to 10 lakhs into 10%, that is 1 lakh. Now first situation, issued at par, redeemable at par. Issued at par will give us NP. So issued at par means 10 lakhs. But we have to minus flotation cost. So 10 lakhs minus 20,000. 2 rupees per share means 10,000 into 2, 20,000. So what will be the net proceeds? 9,80,000. Any confusions in that? All of you are clear with this? Further, the redemption at par. So from that we will get the redemption at par, we will get the redemption value. What will be the redemption value? 10 lakhs. Redeemable at par, so it will be 10 lakhs. And what are the number of years? 10. Any confusion with this information? Raise your hand. All are clear with this? Now we will apply the second formula. Therefore, Kp is equal to PD plus RV minus NP upon N upon RV plus NP divided by 2 into 100. Are you all clear with this? Anjali?
1 lakh
Yes, preference dividend we calculated at the top is 1 lakh.
plus 10 lakhs
Redemption value we calculated is 10 lakhs. Redeemable at par
minus 9,80,000
minus net proceeds after the flotation cost is 9,80,000 upon 10. Number of years of maturity is 10 years.
10 lakhs
Again the net proceeds are 10 lakhs plus redemption value is 9,80,000 upon 2 into 100. Okay. Redemption value 10 lakhs plus net proceeds 9,80,000 divided by 2. Anyone having any doubt in this? All are clear with that? Shreya, further. 1 lakh plus 2,000 divided by 9,90,000 into 100. Okay, 10 lakhs minus 9,80,000, 20,000 divided by 10, 2,000. 10 lakhs plus 9,80,000, 19,80,000 divided by 2, 9,90,000. So 1,02,000 divided by 9,90,000 into 100. 10.30%. All of you have understood this situation? Now, they are issued at, second situation, they are issued at par and redeemable at 10% premium. So now I am writing these three values on the board. Formula all of you can apply on your own. Okay. Issued at par, redeemable at how much premium? 10% premium. Issued at par. So, Anushka, what will be the net proceeds?
Entry is equal to 10 lakhs plus 10% premium.
No, issued at par will give you the net proceeds. So premium is not there in issuing, premium is there at the time of redemption. So simply 10 lakhs minus flotation cost. Flotation cost you subtract always in net proceeds. So 9,80,000. Did all of you understand this? Anyone having any doubt in this? Then Ankit, redemption value. Yes, redeemable at 10% premium. So redemption value will be 10 lakhs plus 10% premium. That is 10 lakhs plus 1 lakh, 11 lakhs. And number of years? 10 years. Did you understand this, everyone? Apply the formula on your own. Who have completed? What do you get? Check it, everyone. Cost of preference shares. Preference dividend will remain 1 lakh plus RV 11 lakhs minus NP 9,80,000. So 1,20,000 divided by 10, 12,000. Do you get this? And upon 11 plus 9, 20,80,000 divided by 2, 10,40,000 into 100. All of you able to get this? So what is the final answer?
10.77.
Anyone who did not get this, raise your hand. Now, third option, they are issued at 10% premium and redeemable at 15% premium. Now, first of all, how will we get the net proceeds? Ankit?
10 lakh plus 10% premium.
10 lakhs and issued at 10% premium will get us the net proceeds. So, plus 10% premium minus flotation cost. Further?
11 lakh minus 20,000.
10 lakhs plus 1 lakh minus 20,000. So 10,80,000. Any confusions in this? Raise your hand. Priyank, how will you get the redemption value?
10 lakh plus 15%.
Yes, now redeemable at 15% premium. So 10 lakhs plus 15% premium, that is 10 lakhs plus 1,50,000. So redemption value will be 11,50,000. Did all of you understand this? And number of years are again? Okay. Apply the formula, you know. PD will remain same 1 lakh plus RV now is 11,50,000 minus NP 10,80,000, that is 70,000 divided by 10, 7,000. And 1150 plus 1080, so 2230 divided by 2, 11,15,000 into 100, what does it come to? 9%. Did all of you get that? Now, put your pens down. Cost of equity, the next point. Okay, this is in fact the last point because cost of retained earnings would remain same as cost of equity only. Then we'll directly see how to find the overall cost of capital. Now, when we find cost of equity, there are two approaches to that. There are two different approaches to that. One is stable dividend approach. The other one is dividend growth approach. Stable dividend approach means what? Stable dividend approach means if a company is earning profits which are going to remain stagnant, if a company is earning stagnant profits, then dividend, we discussed that some part of profits company gives as dividend and some part it retains with itself. So some part of that company will give as dividend which will also remain stable. Okay, as the company is expecting constant profits year after year. So year after year in future the dividends will also remain stable. This is one approach. The other one is company is a growth company. Company's profits are increasing and therefore dividend also company has to give at increasing rate. Part of that dividend will also keep on increasing. So this is for growth companies. Okay. So there are two different approaches. One is stable dividend approach, where the company is a stagnant company expected to earn constant profits every year. The other is dividend growth approach, where we are talking about a growth company, where company's profits also steeply keep on increasing and accordingly the dividend will also keep on increasing. Now since here the dividend is going to remain same, if you are finding the cost of new equity means fresh equity shares are floated in the market. What we call it as IPO. Okay, IPO subscriptions come into the market. So here initial public offering. Okay, IPO means initial public offering. So for new equity it will be equal to DPS KE equals to DPS upon NPS into 100. Dividend per share. Net proceeds per share into 100. Is everyone clear with that? Simple concept like PD upon NP into 100. That was preference dividend. This is equity dividend. Equity dividend per share upon, but we take per share. There we took the total amount. And here we take everything per share. Any confusions in this? And if it is existing equity means the company is already existing in the market, then you cannot have the net proceeds because company was issued in past. Here we will take DPS upon MPS into 100. What is this MPS? And this will be market price per share. Is everyone of you clear with that? So if it is, we will take net proceeds. If it is existing equity, we will take market price per share. Any confusion in that? And if it is a growth company, then DPS upon NPS into 100 plus growth. Means dividend is expected to increase year after year. So if you expect a growth rate of 10%, then what is 10 upon 100? 0.1. So in case if this rate is coming to 16%, then you take 16 plus 0.1, 16.1%. Whatever growth rate is expected, that you will add in the normal rate of equity. Because that much more expectation will be there from the shareholders. In the beginning of the chapter, I explained to you yesterday, what is cost of capital? We have to give that return which they expect from us. And opportunity cost also I told you. At least that much should be given which they would have otherwise earned by investing elsewhere. So here this growth rate is to be added because that is what is the expectation of shareholders from our company. Okay. And if it is existing equity, then DPS upon MPS into 100 plus growth rate. Is everyone clear with this? And I'm sorry, 10% means you'll not add 0.1, you'll add 10 itself. So if your rate of exit equity is coming to 16%, then your cost of capital will be 16 plus 10, 26%. If the growth rate expected is 5% and your cost of equity is coming to 17%, then 17 plus 5, the cost of equity will become 22%. Did everyone understand this? Anyone having any doubt in this? So two approaches are there, noted down. Questions of cost of equity will start in the next period. Okay?